This video is about she was just a woman until a rich CEO stepped in. If this story inspires you, please like the video, share it with loved ones, and write in the comments how it touched your heart. In the heart of a bustling city, where dreams often flickered like the neon lights that adorned the streets, there lived a woman named Clara. At 32, she was like many others juggling a demanding job at a local bookstore, battling the weight of student loans and navigating a world that seemed indifferent to her struggles. Clara's days began at dawn. She would wake to the sound of her alarm clock, a worn-out relic that had seen better days, and roll out of bed, her heart heavy with the burdens she carried. Each morning, she would remind herself, today is a new day, but it often felt like an echo of the same relentless routine. Good morning, Clara, her co-worker, Lisa, greeted her as she stepped into the store. Lisa was a bright spot in Clara's life, her laughter like sunshine breaking through the clouds. Morning, Clara replied, forcing a smile, knowing that beneath her cheerful demeanor lay a heart grappling with doubt. The bookstore was more than a job, it was a sanctuary filled with stories that transported her to places where hope reigned supreme. Yet, as bills piled up and dreams of a better life seemed to fade, a sense of urgency gnawed at her. One evening, after a long shift, Clara sat on a creaky bench outside the bookstore. The city hummed around her, a symphony of life and ambition. She gazed at the towering buildings, their glass facades reflecting the dreams of those who inhabited them. For a moment she allowed herself to dream. Her thoughts were interrupted by a sudden downpour. As she gathered her things, a sleek black car pulled up, and from it emerged a tall figure, impeccably dressed. It was Nathaniel Reed, the enigmatic CEO of Reed Industries, known for his philanthropic ventures and sharp business acumen. "Excuse me," he said, noticing her hastily attempting to shield herself from the rain. "Are you all right?" "It just caught in the rain," Clara replied, surprised by his unexpected kindness. "I'll be fine." He offered her his umbrella, a gesture that felt both simple and profound. "Here, take it, you'll catch cold." Clara hesitated, but then accepted, their eyes locking for a brief moment. In that instant, she felt seen, as if the weight of the world had momentarily lifted. "Thank you," she said softly. "Do you work at the bookstore?" Nathaniel asked, genuine curiosity shining in his eyes. "Yes, I do. It's my little oasis amidst the chaos," she admitted, surprising herself with her openness. "I admire books, they hold a world of possibilities," he said, a hint of nostalgia in his voice. "Maybe I'll stop by sometime." "Sure," Clara replied, her heart racing. A moment with him felt like an invitation to something greater, though she brushed the thought aside, returning to her reality. Days turned into weeks, and Clara found herself often thinking about that rainy encounter. Life continued to be a dance of responsibilities and challenges, but she couldn't shake the feeling that something was shifting within her. One fateful afternoon, as she was restocking the shelves, Clara's phone buzzed with a notification. A message from Lisa flashed on the screen. "Clara, you won't believe it. Nathaniel Reed is coming to the bookstore for a signing event next week." Her heart raced. The CEO had taken her brief encounter to heart. She caught a glimpse of hope in the chaos of her life. Maybe this is my chance, she thought, the flicker of ambition igniting within her. In the following days, Clara threw herself into preparations for the event. She organized book displays, crafted engaging invites, and even reached out to local media, hoping to create a buzz that would draw in crowds. Her determination was fueled by a mix of excitement and fear, but she pushed through, channeling her inner strength. At last, the day of the signing arrived. The bookstore buzzed with energy, and Clara felt a surge of adrenaline as fans lined up, eager to meet Nathaniel. She stood behind the counter, her heart pounding in anticipation. When he walked in, his presence commanded the room. Nathaniel's charisma lit up the space, and Clara felt the air thrum with possibility. As he began signing books, their eyes met again, and Clara felt a jolt of recognition. "Clara," he called out, beckoning her closer. "You've done an incredible job with this event." "Thank you," she replied, her voice barely above a whisper. "It is an honor to have you here." They chatted briefly, but as the event progressed, Clara couldn't shake the feeling that Nathaniel saw something in her, an ember of potential waiting to be ignited. She felt a sense of connection beyond the professional realm, as if they both understood the weight of expectation and the pursuit of dreams. As the evening unfolded, Nathaniel spoke to the crowd about resilience, ambition, and the power of kindness. Clara listened intently, his words resonating deeply within her. "Success is not just about financial gain, it's about lifting others and being a force for good in the world," he said, and Clara felt the tears prick her eyes. After the event, as the store began to clear, Nathaniel approached Clara. I'd like to discuss some ideas for a community initiative I am passionate about. Can we meet? Her heart soared. Of course, I'd love to help however I can. They exchanged contact information, and as he left, Clara felt a sense of excitement mixed with trepidation. This was not just a mere opportunity, it felt like a door opening to a future she had only dared to dream of. Yet, as she lay in bed that night, doubt crept in. What do I have to offer? Who am I to collaborate with someone like him? Clara battled her insecurities, but deep down, she understood that her journey was just beginning. The days that followed were a whirlwind of brainstorming sessions and late-night phone calls. Clara and Nathaniel bonded over their shared vision for a literacy program aimed at underprivileged children in the city. With each conversation, Clara's confidence grew, igniting a fire within her that she thought had long been extinguished. One evening, as they mapped out the program's timeline, Nathaniel looked at her with genuine admiration. "You have a gift for this, Clara. Your passion is contagious." "Thank you," she replied, her eyes shining with gratitude. "I've always believed in the power of stories. Maybe, just maybe, we can change lives through them." As the program began to take shape, Clara faced challenges. Funding was a constant concern, and securing partnerships felt daunting. Yet every setback taught her resilience. With Nathaniel's support, she learned to navigate obstacles, finding creative solutions and inspiring others to join their cause. The bookstore transformed into a hub for community engagement. Clara organized reading sessions, inviting children and families to partake in the magic of storytelling. Each event felt like a celebration, and Clara's heart swelled with hope as she witnessed the joy it brought to the children. One afternoon, amidst laughter and chatter, a girl named Mia approached Clara. "Miss Clara, can I read a story to you?" she asked, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "Of course, Mia, I'd love to hear your story," Clara replied, her heart swelling with pride. As Mia read, Clara felt the weight of the world lift, replaced by a warmth that illuminated her spirit. In that moment, she understood the profound impact of their initiative. Their lives were changing, and she was at the center of it. The weeks turned into months, and as the literacy program flourished, so did Clara. She discovered a previously hidden strength, a well of determination that propelled her forward. Every challenge she faced became a stepping stone, every doubt transformed into a lesson. Yet, amid the triumphs, Clara remained grounded in her roots. She knew that resilience was not just about personal growth, it was about uplifting others and creating pathways for them to succeed. On a particularly beautiful day, as Clara and Nathaniel stood before a crowd of supporters at a fundraising event, she took a deep breath and stepped forward. "Thank you all for believing in this cause," she began, her voice steady. "Together, we are not just changing lives, we are nurturing dreams." As the applause erupted, Clara felt a swell of gratitude. She had journeyed from a woman burdened by self-doubt to a beacon of hope, inspiring others along the way. This was not just about her story, it was about the collective strength of many, intertwined in the fabric of their shared humanity. And in that moment, Clara realized she was no longer just a woman. She was a catalyst for change, a testament to the power of resilience, and a champion of the human spirit. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the crowd, Clara understood that their journey was only just beginning. Hope flickered brightly, a promise of what lay ahead. With Nathaniel by her side, they were ready to light the way for countless others searching for their own paths, igniting a flame of possibility that would burn brightly for generations to come. Clara stood outside the bookstore one warm evening, the air fragrant with the scent of blooming jasmine. The soft glow from the streetlights illuminated her face, and she smiled as she watched children from the community gather for another story hour. Her heart swelled with pride at how far they had come. Miss Clara, a chorus of voices erupted as children raced toward her, clutching well-worn books. "What stories do we have tonight?" Clara asked, kneeling to their level. She felt a rush of affection for these bright-eyed kids who had transformed her life as much as she had theirs. "Can we read The Secret Garden?" shouted Mia, the girl who had first approached Clara with her story. "Absolutely, that is a wonderful choice," Clara replied, her heart fluttering. She saw Nathaniel approaching in the distance, his demeanor relaxed, a warm smile on his face. They had become a formidable team, and she was grateful for his unwavering belief in her. "Hey there, storyteller," Nathaniel greeted as he reached them. "How is our little literary gathering?" "Better than I could have imagined. The kids are so excited," Clara replied, her eyes twinkling. Nathaniel knelt beside her, addressing the children with genuine warmth. "Who is ready to go on an adventure with Mary Lennox?" Children squealed in delight, and as the reading session commenced, Clara felt the magic of stories weaving around them. She glanced at Nathaniel, who was enraptured by the children's joyful engagement. His presence brought a sense of security and inspiration she hadn't even known she needed. Yet, as the weeks turned into months, Clara felt the weight of responsibility pressing down on her. The literacy program had grown beyond her wildest dreams, but so had the challenges. Securing consistent funding was a constant battle, and competition for grants was fierce. One evening, as she sat at her cluttered desk, papers scattered around her like autumn leaves, Clara's phone buzzed. It was a message from Nathaniel. "Can we meet? I have some ideas," that read. Clara felt a flicker of hope. "Sure, when and where?" "Let us meet at the cafe down the street at 6 p.m. As she arrived at the cafe, Clara's stomach churned with anxiety. What if they couldn't find a solution? What if the program collapsed? She took a deep breath, reminding herself of the countless children depending on her. "Clara!" Nathaniel greeted her, his face brightening as he found her. "I've been thinking about our next steps." "Me too," she replied, trying to maintain her composure. "I've been looking into grants, but they're so competitive. I am worried we won't make it." "Let us brainstorm," he said, his voice steady. "Do you know about the local business partnerships? We could pitch them the impact we were making." Clara nodded, her heart racing with newfound determination. "That could work. Maybe if we show them the testimonials from the families, they'll see the value." "Exactly, and we can organize a fundraiser featuring the kids' artwork and performances," Nathaniel suggested. As the evening wore on, they exchanged ideas, drawing from their shared experiences. Clara felt the heaviness in her heart lift, replaced by a sense of purpose. "Clara, you're doing something incredible," Nathaniel said, his eyes glowing with sincerity. "Your passion is infectious. We'll find a way to keep this going." "I couldn't have done this without you," she replied, feeling the warmth of gratitude surge within her. "You believed in me when I didn't believe in myself." "Together, we're rebuilding something meaningful," Nathaniel said, a glimmer of excitement lighting up his eyes. "Let us keep pushing forward." As they walked out of the cafe, Clara felt a renewed sense of hope. They were a team, and together they could navigate any storm that came their way. The next few weeks were a whirlwind. Clara worked tirelessly to organize the fundraiser, rallying the community and connecting with local businesses. She felt the adrenaline course through her veins as she saw the support pouring in. "Miss Clara, can I make a drawing for the fundraiser?" Mia asked one day during a storytelling session. "Absolutely, Mia, your artwork is incredible," Clara encouraged, her heart swelling with pride. As the date of the fundraiser approached, Clara faced her fears head-on. She stood before a mirror, practicing her speech. "You can do this," she whispered to herself, recalling all the children who had inspired her along the way. On the evening of the fundraiser, the books had transformed into a vibrant tapestry of color and sound. Banners hung from the ceiling, adorned with the children's artwork, and the air buzzed with excitement. Clara could barely contain her joy as families and community members filled the space. "Welcome, everyone," Clara began, her voice steady as she stepped onto the makeshift stage. "Thank you for being here tonight to support our literacy program. Together, we can light the path for countless children." As the night unfolded, Clara watched in awe as the children performed skits and shared stories. Laughter and applause filled the air, and she felt the magic of community wrapping around her like a warm embrace. When Nathaniel took the stage, he spoke with heartfelt conviction. "What Clara has accomplished is a testament to the power of kindness, determination, and community. Let us continue to nurture the dreams of our children." The crowd erupted in applause, and Clara's heart soared. This is what it meant to believe in something greater than oneself. As the evening came to a close, Clara felt a wave of gratitude wash over her. They had raised enough funds to continue the program for several more months, a lifeline for the children who depended on it. Amidst the celebrations, Clara took a moment to step outside for fresh air, her heart racing with joy. Nathaniel joined her, his eyes sparkling with pride. "You did it, Clara. You brought the community together," he said, a smile spreading across his face. "I couldn't have done it without you, Nathaniel. You believed in me," she replied, her voice thick with emotion. Their eyes locked, and in that moment, Clara felt an unspoken bond deepen between them, a shared understanding of their journeys. "Let us keep this momentum going," Nathaniel said, his voice steady. "There is so much more we can do." As Clara stepped back inside, she realized that the impact of their endeavors extended far beyond the literacy program. They were igniting a spark of hope within a community that had long felt overlooked. In the following months, Clara continued to grow, both personally and professionally. She learned to embrace challenges, viewing them as opportunities for growth. The children's laughter became a source of strength, propelling her forward on days when insecurity threatened to creep in. One afternoon, as Clara prepared for another reading session, Mia approached her with a beaming smile. "Miss Clara, I wrote a story. Can I read it to everyone?" "Of course, Mia, I can't wait to hear it," Clara said, her heart brimming with pride. As Mia read her story aloud, Clara felt tears prick her eyes. The words held so much imagination and hope. In that moment, Clara understood that this was the essence of their work, igniting dreams, nurturing creativity, and empowering voices that yearned to be heard. As the program continued to flourish, Clara found herself reflecting on her own journey. No longer just a woman burdened by doubt, she was a beacon of hope, guiding others toward their dreams. One evening, as Clara and Nathaniel sat down to discuss future initiatives, she looked at him, her heart full. "Do you think we were really making a difference?" "Absolutely, Clara. Your passion inspires others to believe in themselves," he replied, his voice steady and reassuring. "Together, we're rebuilding more than just a program. We're recreating a legacy." As they planned their next steps, Clara knew that the road ahead might be filled with challenges, but she also understood the power of resilience, kindness, and community. And as the stars twinkled above, she felt a sense of peace wash over her. They were embarking on a journey that would forever change the landscape of their community, one story at a time. With every child who picked up a book, with every smile that lit up a face, Clara knew that hope was alive and well. And she was no longer just a woman, she was a force of change, a testament to the beauty of the human spirit. In the heart of the bustling city, the echoes of laughter, the magic of stories, and the kindness of a community intertwined, illuminating the path for all who dared to dream. Clara awoke to the soft rays of the morning sun filtering through her window, casting a warm glow across her modest bedroom. Despite the challenges that lay ahead, she felt an invigorating sense of purpose. Today marked the launch of their literacy program as first community outreach event, and the air buzzed with potential. "Miss Clara." Mia's voice rang through the crisp morning air as she virtually bounced into the bookstore. The girl's joy was infectious, her enthusiasm lighting up the dim corners of Clara's heart. "Good morning, Mia. Are you excited about today?" Clara asked, kneeling to meet her at eye level. "The most. I can't wait to tell my friends about all the stories we'll read." Mia beamed, her pigtails bouncing with every enthusiastic nod. Clara chuckled. "Remember, this is our chance to share the magic of stories with everyone. Let us make it a day to remember." As they prepared for the event, Clara felt her nerves bubble beneath the surface. Their reach was a pivotal moment, and not just for the program, but for her journey. She glanced at the makeshift schedule, each hour filled with activities designed to engage and inspire. "I have to believe that this will work," she whispered to herself, summoning every ounce of courage within her. The sun climbed higher, casting golden rays across the bookstore as families began to trickle in. Clara greeted each person with a genuine smile, her heart racing with anticipation. The room was soon filled with the sound of laughter and happy chatter, children darting between tables adorned with colorful books and creative displays. "Welcome, everyone," Clara called out, her voice strong despite the flutter of nerves. "Today, we're not just celebrating reading, we're celebrating the joy of stories. Let us embark on this adventure together." As she introduced the different activities, she could feel the energy in the room shift. Clara's passion was contagious, igniting a spark of enthusiasm among the attendees. Kids gathered around her, their eyes wide with excitement as she read aloud from their favorite books, the magic of storytelling weaving a tapestry of connection among them. "Mia, do you want to read the next part?" Clara invited, stepping aside to create space for the young girl. "Me? Really?" Mia's eyes widened, her voice a mixture of disbelief and joy. "Absolutely, you have a wonderful way with words," Clara encouraged, her heart swelling with pride as she watched Mia step forward, confidence radiating from her small frame. As the event unfolded, Clara noticed parents chatting, sharing stories of their own reading experiences. The community was coming alive, barriers dissolved as hearts opened to the joy of storytelling. She felt a tear prick at the corner of her eye. This was why she had fought so hard. But just as the day reached its peak, the atmosphere shifted. A man approached Clara, his arms crossed and a frown etched across his face. "I don't get it," he began, his voice laced with skepticism. "You think this will actually make a difference? Reading isn't he going to put food on the table?" Clara's heart sank for a moment, but she steadied herself, remembering the journey they had all undertaken together. "Sir, I understand your concerns, but through reading, we open doors to possibilities. It empowers children to dream and aspire for more. That is not just a luxury, it is a necessity." He remained unconvinced, but Clara held her ground, determined to showcase the worth of their efforts. Every child deserves the chance to discover who they can become. As the day continued, Clara felt a mix of joy and frustration. The event was filled with laughter, but that man's words lingered like a shadow. After the last families departed, she and Nathaniel began to clean up the remnants of the day. "You handled that well," Nathaniel said, breaking the silence, admiration lacing his voice. "Not everyone will see the value at first, but you reap planting seeds of change, Clara." "I just wish everyone could understand," Clara sighed, her heart heavy. "I want them to see how reading can transform their lives, to feel the hope it brings." Nathaniel placed a comforting hand on her shoulder. "One person at a time. Remember, the path to change is often met with resistance, but your resilience will shine through. We'll keep pushing forward." As they finished cleaning, Clara's resolve grew. She would not let skepticism deter. The event had showcased the power of community, the spark of hope that could ignite from shared stories. In the weeks that followed, Clara and Nathaniel focused on expanding outreach. They organized workshops, inviting local schools to participate, and Clara found herself increasingly inspired. With each session, she watched the children blossom, gaining confidence and creativity. "Miss Clara, look what I made," May exclaimed one day, holding up a colorful drawing filled with vibrant characters and swirling landscapes. Clara gasped, "This is beautiful, Mia. You've captured so much imagination. Would you like to share your story behind this?" "Yes, it is about a girl who discovers a hidden world inside her favorite book." Mia beamed, her eyes shining bright. As Mia spoke, Clara felt her heart swell with joy. This was what it was all about, nurturing creativity, fostering connection, and empowering voices that yearned to be heard. Yet Clara knew that as the program grew, so did the challenges. Their efforts became more ambitious, which meant the need for funding was more urgent than ever. In a meeting with Nathaniel, she voiced her concerns. "We're doing so much, but the financial aspect is overwhelming. I fear we might lose traction if we don't secure more support," Clara admitted, her brow furrowed with worry. "I understand," Nathaniel said thoughtfully. "Let us reach out to local businesses, create partnerships. We can emphasize the community benefits. After all, investing in our children is investing in the future." Clara nodded, feeling a flicker of hope at his words. "That could work, but it will take time and effort. We're in this together." We'll brainstorm a compelling proposal highlighting the program's impact. "Remember, Clara, every challenge can be overcome with a bit of creativity and determination," Nathaniel encouraged, a smile breaking through her doubts. Over the next few weeks, Clara poured her heart into crafting the proposal. Their meetings became a mix of brainstorming and laughter, a partnership evolving beyond professional collaboration. One afternoon, as they sat together in a cozy cafe, Clara looked across the table at Nathaniel, her heart racing slightly. "Thank you for your belief in this project. It means more than you know." "Clara, you are the heart of this initiative. I am here to support you," he replied softly, "Is I sincere?" Suddenly, the cafe door swung open, and a sudden rush of chilly air followed a group of lively children, giggling as they darted inside. Clara's heart warmed at the scene unfolding before her, the joy of shared experiences, laughter, and connection. "Do you think we can really make a difference?" Clara asked, her voice barely above a whisper, filled with vulnerability. "Absolutely," Nathaniel reassured, leaning closer. "Look around. You're recreating a ripple effect that can transform this community. Your courage inspires me, Clara." As they continued working together, Clara felt the weight of her past dissolve, replaced by an unwavering belief in herself. They secured meetings with local business owners, presenting their proposal with conviction. Clara's passion became their most powerful tool. One afternoon, amid a bustling meeting with a local business association, Clara stood at the front of a conference room filled with skeptical faces. Sweat trickled down her back, but she steadied herself, recalling the faces of the children who inspired her. "Together, we can build a brighter future for our community. Investing in literacy is investing in hope. Let us empower every child to dream big and aim high," Clara urged, her voice unwavering. As she wrapped up her presentation, a wave of applause erupted, surprising her. She glanced at Nathaniel, who stood beaming with pride. "See, you have a gift, Clara," he whispered, his eyes twinkling. Days later, after a series of follow-up meetings, they secured funding from several businesses, a lifeline for their program. Clara could hardly contain her excitement. "We did it," she exclaimed, her eyes shining with disbelief. "You did it," Nathaniel insisted, a warm smile lighting up his face. "Your passion and resilience won them over. You've shown them the importance of investing in our children." In the months that followed, the literacy program flourished, growing beyond Clara's wildest dreams. Children became more engaged, their imagination sparking creativity, and new families joined the sessions, each one bringing an exciting story of their own. One sunny afternoon, as Clara prepared for another reading session, a familiar face stepped inside the bookstore. The man who had once doubted her stood at the threshold, his gaze hesitant. "Can I talk to you for a moment?" he asked, his tone softer than before. "Of course," Clara replied, her heart pounding. "I've been watching the program grow. I wasn't sure it would work, but I've seen how you've brought the community together. I am sorry for doubting you," he admitted, sincerity shining in his eyes. Clara felt her heart soften. "Thank you for coming in. It means a lot to hear that. It's been a journey for all of us." He nodded, finally allowing a small smile to grow on his face. "I want to help. If you'll have me, I'd like to be part of this. I believe it could make a difference for my kids." Clara felt an overwhelming surge of emotions. "I'd love for you to be part of it. Everyone's voice matters. Together, we can create something truly special." As the man joined their team, Clara felt the very essence of community begin to blossom. They've organized workshops where parents could engage alongside their children, sharing their own stories and experiences. Each session became a tapestry woven with laughter, tears, and newfound understanding. Weeks turned into months, and Clara poured her heart and soul into the program, forging deeper connections with the families involved. Nathaniel remained a steadfast partner, the bond growing stronger as they shared not only their successes but also their fears. "Clara, have you thought about expanding our outreach?" Nathaniel suggested one evening as they sat in the cafe, the aroma of coffee mingling with the sounds of lively conversation around them. "I have," Clara replied, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. "What if we collaborated with local schools to bring in more kids? There is so much potential out there." "That is a brilliant idea. We could present at the school's next assembly. You have a way of captivating an audience," Nathaniel encouraged, his confidence in her unwavering. As they finalized their plans for the school assembly, Clara felt a flutter of nerves bubble up again. What if they don't want to participate? What if they still think this is just a waste of time? "Then we show them how it can change lives," Nathaniel said firmly. "We've already seen the difference we're making. We just need to keep believing in ourselves and our vision." The day of the school assembly arrived, and Clara stood backstage, heart pounding in her chest. The gymnasium echoed with the sounds of children chatting, their energy palpable. "You've got this, Clara," she whispered to herself, summoning the courage she had unearthed over the past year. As she stepped into the spotlight, she saw dozens of eyes fixed on her, curious and hopeful. "Hello, everyone. My name is Clara, and I am here to talk to you about something very special, the magic of stories," she began, her voice steady despite her nerves. She spoke passionately about the literacy program, sharing stories of the children whose lives had already begun to change. As she spoke, she could feel the connection forming with her young audience, their eyes bright with excitement. "Who here loves to read?" Clara asked, and a chorus of enthusiastic voices erupted in reply. "Great, well, I want to invite you all to join our program. Together, we can explore amazing worlds, meet wonderful characters, and discover the power of your own voices." The gymnasium erupted in applause, and Clara's heart soared. Many children raised their hands, eager to participate. But she also noticed a few hesitant faces, a flicker of doubt reflected in their expressions. "Remember," Clara continued, her gaze sweeping over the entire room, "every story is important, and every voice matters. You all have the power to create change, not just in your lives, but in the lives of those around you." As she finished her presentation, Clara was met with a wave of applause and cheers. It was a moment of pure elation, a testament to the connection she had forged with the community. Later, as they collected sign-up sheets, Clara felt that sense of vindication. They had not only gained new participants, but also formed relationships with parents who wanted to support their children's journeys. "I can't believe how well that went," Nathaniel said, his eyes gleaming with pride. "You captivated them, Clara. This is just the beginning." In the following weeks, the program expanded rapidly, drawing more children and families into the fold. Clara organized reading clubs, writing workshops, and art sessions, each one designed to engage the imagination and foster creativity. Mia became her little assistant, eager to mentor younger kids. "Miss Clara, are we going to make another book together?" Mia asked one day as they crafted colorful posters for an upcoming art showcase. "Yes, we are. I can't wait to see what stories you come up with," Clara replied, her heart swelling with pride for her talented young friend. But as the program flourished, Clara felt the pressure mounting. With new challenges came an increased demand for resources, and despite their fundraising efforts, funding remained a constant worry. Clara often found herself awake at night, analyzing budgets, brainstorming ideas, and trying to figure out how to keep the momentum going. One particularly challenging week, Clara sat in her office, staring blankly at a spreadsheet filled with numbers that made her head spin. Nathaniel entered, sensing her distress. "Hey, what is going on?" he asked gently, taking a seat across from her. "I am just feeling overwhelmed," Clara admitted, her voice trembling. "We have so many kids relying on us, but I am not sure how to keep this program sustainable. I feel like I am failing them." "Clara, you are not failing anyone," Nathaniel reassured her. "What you are doing is extraordinary. You've ignited a passion for learning, and that is priceless. We just need to adjust our approach." Clara looked up, meeting his gaze. "What do you mean?" "What if we organized a community-wide book drive? We could partner with local businesses to collect donations and raise awareness," Nathaniel suggested. "And we could reach out to the media for publicity." Clara felt a spark of hope ignite within her. "That could work. We could create a campaign showcasing the importance of literacy and how it impacts our community. I'll get started on it right away." Together, they brainstormed ideas and developed a timeline for their book drive. Clara reached out to local businesses, while Nathaniel utilized his connections to secure sponsorships. The community began to rally around them, and Clara watched as donations poured in, filling their bookstore to the brim with books. On the day of the book drive, Clara stood outside the bookstore, her heart racing at the sight of families arriving with bags of books, eager to support the cause. She felt buoyed by the sense of community that surrounded her. "Look, Miss Clara, I brought some books too," May exclaimed, pulling a stack of colorful novels from her backpack. "Thank you, Mia. These will help so many children discover the joy of reading," Clara replied, her heart swelling with gratitude. As the day unfolded, Clara witnessed the beauty of human connection. Families shared their stories, discussing the impact of literature on their lives and the importance of nurturing young minds. Clara felt a rush of energy as she engaged with everyone, realizing that they were not just collecting books, they were building a movement of hope. That evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Clara stood amidst the mountain of books, her heart brimming with gratitude. Nathaniel joined her, a proud smile on his face. "We did it, Clara. Look at what we've accomplished together." "This is only the beginning," Clara replied, the fire of ambition lighting her eyes. "With every book, we're reopening a new world for our children. They deserve to dream." As they packed up the remaining books, Clara's heart swelled with pride. She had transformed from just a woman burdened by self-doubt into a leader, a beacon of hope in her community. Together, with Nathaniel by her side, they had forged a path of resilience and change that would leave a lasting impact. As the warmth of the sunset enveloped them, Clara felt a sense of peace wash over her. They had faced challenges, but the journey had only strengthened her belief in the power of stories, connection, and the kindness of the human spirit. In the months that followed, Clara continued to inspire others, knowing that the journey was not just about her, but about all the children and families who had breathed life into the literacy program. Each child who picked up a book, each smile that graced their faces, was a testament to the hope they had cultivated together. Clara stood at the front of the bookstore, watching the children gather for another story hour. The laughter and chatter filled the air, and a wave of warmth enveloped her. She turned to Nathaniel, who stood beside her with a proud smile. "Together, we recreated a legacy," he said softly, his eyes reflecting the light of their shared vision. "Yes, we are," Clara replied, her heart swelling with gratitude. "And I am so glad to have you by my side." As the children settled down, Clara began to read, her voice weaving a tapestry of adventure and imagination. She felt the magic of stories enveloping them all, a reminder that hope thrives in connection, resilience, and the beauty of the human spirit. And in that moment, Clara knew that this was her purpose, to nurture dreams, ignite imagination, and create a world where every child could discover the magic of their own story.